A rather unusual look about it. It's going to be, we think, Sergio Roberto at right back, Nelson Semedo at left back, with Piqué and Vermeulen in central defence. In midfield, Ivan Rakitic with either side of him, the youngster Carlos Aleñá and Arturo Vidal. No changes up front, however. Messi, Suarez and Coutinho. That's 3 changes from the side. The beat Giroud. A back 4 for Piccini, Garay, Gabriel and Toni Lato. In midfield, Daniel Was, Francis Coquelin, Dani Parejo and Denis Cheryshev. And up front, Rodrigo Moreno, who we've spoken about as scoring goals of late, got a hat-trick in the Cup against Getafe midweek. He's joined today by Kevin Gameiro. On the bench, Gameiro with a flick in, collected by Coquelin, plays it perhaps a little too wide for Piccini. He's got options. Parejo screaming for it. He can shoot from here. Testing the gloves of Marc-Andre ter Stegen. That was on target. A little bit closer
spot. Just 2 different players.
Well, there's no mystery who's going to take it. Leo Messi. The whistle's gone. Messi! On target, as you said. At the end of the day, no...
Beyond reproach. They have a diamond in that man.
Luis Suarez keeps the ball in play. Returns it to Leo Messi. Still Messi. Still Messi. Messi tries to curl one. Just didn't quite hit the target. I think Neto had it cut. Turns away from Parejo. Nice rebound fell for Vidal. He's quick to find Coutinho. Sergio Roberto making a run. Coutinho stretched for Neto. He palms it away. That's the trademark Coutinho attempt. And he goes. Play on, says the referee. Parejo quick to find Gameiro. Gameiro to find Moreno. Plenty of options here, including Cheryshev down the left, Was down the right. He goes through to Gameiro. 1-0 to Valencia. Kevin Gameiro with the goal. Rodrigo Moreno with the assist. It's a classic counter-attack. Halfway through the first half, Valencia take the lead, and they take the lead in style.
They have taken advantage of one of the few things that Barcelona are not very good at. When the tackle is made, and I back on Diano that at this first sight, we don't have a replay yet, he hasn't had a replay, that the tackle is legitimate. We're about to see Parejo. There's the faintest touch in the ball, and there's a hand on Messi's back. Some referees will give foul there. But let's just say that's part of the war. At that point, the white flag can't go up. Now, Barcelona and Rakitic caught out of position are unable to dispel the counter-attack, but above anything else, because we see teams being able to counter-attack Barcelona at the Camp Nou regularly when Barca play high up the pitch. Very few teams play as effective, so many correct passes as that, and finish when the chance is there. We very often see some little gremlin in their movement as they burst up pitch. Not for Valencia, that's why they're 1-0 up. Very, very good goal, bright goal.
And very intelligent from Rodrigo. Looked like he's missed his chance to the right, wide on the right.
Head injuries finally being treated seriously, and Valencia still making a good break.
There's a bit of space there for Cheryshev. It's an awkward ball in, and it's a penalty. Was goes down. Sergio Roberto penalised. Referee Undiano Mayenko pointing to the spot. Yellow card for Sergio Roberto. And there's an opportunity for Valencia to make it 2-0. Valverde is furious. I'm sure referee Gil Manzano on the VAR will be commenting this play to the referee. Here's the cross.
Undiano's angle, arms are raised, Vasco's down. I haven't clear whether we saw an outright push, but the arms are up. That's enough of a shove. Undiano, I think, has got that spot on. It's hugely interesting because the accidental clash between Gameiro and Piqué means that the dominant centre
has to take the penalty for whatever reason. No reason would justify that today. They're in the Camp Nou. This is to put Valencia 2-0 up. It's Dani Parejo against Marc-Andre ter Stegen and 85,000 Catalans. Up steps Parejo, no mistake. 2-0 to Valencia. Less than 32 minutes on the clock. And Graham Hunter, we could well have a bit of a shock on our hands here.
It's a sensational take. It's nerveless. I was at the Stadium Mestalla when he missed his only penalty this season, which was against Juventus. It went to that same side, but low. In this instance, it takes almost a miracle to save this, because when Stegen dives the correct way, he's at full length, full extension, and it still goes both above him and wide of him. Marc-Andre ter Stegen is not the tallest goalkeeper in world football, but that literally given the situation, is perfect. There is no other word. Side panel, above Ter Stegen, beyond his reach, literal perfection. You don't see that often on a football pitch, but we just did.
2-0 to Valencia. Dani Parejo stepping up to take the responsibility which goes with carrying the armband, and Valencia find themselves with a very comfortable lead.
You know this is true.
Again, those four very solid Valencia lines preventing Barca penetrating. Here's Vidal. Semedo.
Oh dear.
Down he goes. And the ball in the back of the net, but the referee's given a penalty.
And he gave it at a stage where the ball wasn't likely to go in the net. The whistle had gone before the possibility of playing advantage. He was looking at the incident and doing what he should do and recalculating whether or not he'd seen an offence. You sat next to me at grounds where I'll make a guess, because I think I see something, and I was about to say I think Semedo's made a lot of that.
Yep.
I still think he's made a lot of that. I think he's been streetwise, because when Lato touches his shin there, VAR will say that there's contact, it's a penalty. But as I grew up, and I think I can say as you grew up, that type of contact doesn't send you down.
Well, it's Leo Messi. I mean, if there's one aspect of his game that isn't perhaps absolutely top, it's been from the penalty spot. Will he change that now? Messi sends Neto the wrong way. No need to cry over the spilt milk of the goal that he put in the back of the net from the penalty incident.
Wait, you're not saying that counts as two?
No,
statisticians all over the country are going, is that goal 403 in the league? Or?
But what I will say is I do agree with you. At the very, very least, it's a soft penalty.
I think that the laws allow it, but was a foul committed? Because football isn't a sport whereby if a foot makes contact with a shin in a touch, that's automatically a foul. But I think it backs Undiano sufficiently. I think he knew VAR would support him. VAR has evidently, well, we're judging that pause, well, he was listening to his earphone, that pause was VAR saying nothing to lifting this team up to victory. But they've also seen draws here and defeats here this season, particularly Girona.
Ooh, lovely ball. Driven in on the post from Sergio Roberto. I don't know if Neto got a hand to it. That ricochet back off the base of the right-hand post there. Barcelona close to an equaliser. Almost taken by surprise. Continue with the short one to Messi. Messi to Sergio Roberto. Suddenly saw a bit of room and was unfortunate to miss the target by the narrowest of margins.
It's very rare that our goal side microphones pick up a noise as thundering as that when it smashes off the post.
Coutinho, Aligna, Rakitic. Into the final minute, there'll obviously be stoppage time. Lovely ball in! Messi on the volley with the ball coming over his shoulder. I don't think anybody expected that.
Gabriel, well, first Rakitic, superb. Doing the type of thing that Busquets would do. This is marvellous. Sees the run, it's hard to deliver. Messi's onside, there's a touch. Well, whether that takes one of the pieces of hair off the top of the Brazilian's head, it doesn't. His leap does enough.
Aligna, Sergio Roberto, Aligna again, tries the shots. Oh, Neto spills it this time, and Gabriel doesn't quite manage to put the ball into touch. And in the end, Tony Lato, oh, it's a goal kick.
Offside against Suarez.
Yeah.
And it's interesting there, like going, okay, we've seen Aligna take the right idea as the ball is being straight line back and forward. Either there has to be a diagonal pass or a shot like this that Neto eventually fumbles. But the key thing is Rodrigo, when the ball is played out, when Messi tries to find Alba and the ball's played at Rodrigo, he tries the dummy, which in central midfield has won him so many lovely pieces of space so far. That's
waiting for Vidal to make the run. Parejo takes it off him. It's a good ball out. Is Rodrigo.
2v2.
Cheryshev with him. Still Rodrigo gets past the defence. Can't get past Ter Stegen. Falls for Cheryshev. Daniel Was comes off Jordi Alba and goes wide for a corner. That's the break you were talking about, Graham.
It's the break and it's the numbers that they wanted. They wanted to be 2v2. In any situation like that, when you've got the pace and power of Cheryshev, that's going to be dangerous. That's the Parejo rob on Messi that brought to first goal. Now, the wonderful thing about Stegen's performance here, seeing as he's the victor in that one-on-one challenge, is that instant he thinks that Rodrigo's going to be free, he's sprinting. He does.
Alignado does superbly well, finds Messi, it's 3 against 3. Suarez to the right, Coutinho to the left, he chooses Suarez. Suarez with the cross, and it was Leo Messi challenging with Daniel Was. Out to Coquelin, Coquelin quick to find Torres. Parejo, it's Cheryshev rather. Cheryshev cross to the far post. Rodrigo holds his head in his hand. He knows how close that was. He got the contact on the ball, just stretching. Cheryshev whipping it across. He had the option of cutting it back for Parejo.
And if Gerard Piqué's head didn't hurt so much, he'd be holding his in his hands, because he hung his head as the ball went over from Rodrigo's boot. He knew that if that had gone in, he'd have shared part of the blame.
There's Suarez, still Suarez. Just run out of steam, it falls for Vidal, leaves it for Messi. Messi tries a shot! Leo Messi celebrates that one as though it's the cup final. What a remarkable goal from Leo Messi. His 21st goal of the season. Graham Hunter, that came out of absolutely nowhere.
That came from his soul, that came from his anger, that came from the depths. When he celebrates because he's scored, I think, 4 or 5 million goals, he's got so used to pointing to the sky in tribute to his abuela, his grandmother. That little touch, there is no angle. It doesn't come off a Valencia player, as the movement of the ball initially made me think he's used Garay as a sighter to put it inside the post. Neto didn't know it was in until it actually filled the net, and that's the point. Your point about goal, cup-winning goal. He doesn't celebrate like that unless it's a last-minute winner.
Yeah, it's going to be Coutinho to take the free kick. Gerard Piqué's up there, causing havoc. That one not too far away from Coutinho. Parejo quick to return it. Rodrigo, he's got Was outside him, goes inside. Rodrigo tries the shot into the hands.
Will Suarez have 10 minutes off? I don't know, we'll see.
It's a lovely ball. Was cuts it back. Mina's first touch. Struck it firmly, hit it on target.